Haiti is celebrating 70 years of konpa, and in 70 years, a musical genre changes a lot. There are a lot of evolutions and stuff like that. Imagine, just look at hip hop. Hip hop is 50 years old, and yet there have been so many different kinds of hip hop, so many different changes in hip hop. Some people, the differences can be so big that that people who's really into 80s hip hop or early 90s hip hop would despise much of the hip hop that came out after, 2010. Yeah, and I think it's the same thing with compa. Compa people from my father's generation, I don't think they would like very much what people do today. And in my personal case, growing up as a preteen and as a teenager, I identified mostly with ragamuffin. That's just the way it is, and I stopped listening to compa altogether. Towards the mid 2000s. So yeah, so my experience to compa is with compa of compa is limited. So I'm just talking about what I remember as a kid listening to papash. I had the papash tape, and papash, it was they represented what they call the new generation. And it's interesting when you listen to a song like a Fidel, by Saint Clair and Gary Didier Perez. He says, "Et pourtant nous pas oublier compas." So these guys, they saw themselves as doing something that's sufficiently different from what, say, Timano was doing. And yet they consider compa as their heritage, and at the same time, so there is a break, and there is not a break. So there's a paradoxical attitude towards compa, and afterwards, you had the compa album that had the most, that I listened to the most, probably was a Dieudonné Laro's the famous album with Lembe, with Jolie Minou, with Mandela. I think that was a masterpiece, and to me, with my limited experience, my limited exposure to compa, I think it's the best compa album ever. That Miss